What was your final score?
Final in the GATE exam. That was 94 point something.
That's crazy. This is Asif Hasan, the man who got GATE AR1 in his first attempt in college, that too without coaching. When I talked with him,
Some people may argue that it's not the best one.
the insights were very new to me. So I dig deeper to understand his preparation strategy, resources and daily routine, and what he shared was next level advice. What was your first mock test score?
Really low. I would say maybe 40.
40. You got 40 in your first mock test and you got 94 in your final GATE exam. Hi, by the way, if you're new here, I'm Rahuram Chanthrakumar and I'm Tech alumni of IIT Madras. Without wasting any time, let's get started. Hi sir, how are you?
Hi. I'm good.
You have given GATE. What was your motivation?
To be honest, I didn't have a very clear future goal in mind.
Okay.
So a lot of my friends during my bachelor were trying to do MS in the US and stuff like that. But at the time, I didn't know if I should go to abroad for studies. So I thought, okay, let me prepare myself for an equivalent option in India, that is MTech. So that's how.
After GATE, like how you navigated and where are you currently?
So after GATE, so I contradicted myself. I started preparing for GATE to do MTech. While finishing, I was not so sure based on the course programs that are offered in the Indian colleges. I was not so sure if I was ready to do so much of math or so much of scientific computations. So I thought of giving myself a bit of time, and so I worked in IOCL for about 2 years, and that's when started looking into colleges that are abroad. Really liked the coursework of TU Delft for masters, and ended up here in the Netherlands. I did my masters from 2019 to 2021. And since 2021, I've been doing my PhD. Hopefully, this year, if all goes well, I'll get.
This podcast is divided into 3 parts: daily routine, free resources, preparation strategy. Let's start with daily routine. What was your tentative daily routine?
I used to get out of bed by around 7:30. First lecture used to start at 9. I used to be done by 3:30 or by 4. I reach home 4:30, rest for a while, and then I used to get back to either my college work or GATE.
From 5 till what time you will study?
12. 1. I wouldn't call it 7 hours, 8 hours of study. You can say at 4 hours roughly.
There might be days your mood is off or like you might be demotivated. So on those tough days, how you make yourself stay consistent?
Yeah, there are days when you feel a bit rejected. The approach that I would suggest is keep trying, and if something is not working, maybe try something else.
College is a place where usually like we find it very difficult to focus on GATE compared to those who are actually, drop out and prepare. So despite all the distractions, how you are able to stay consistent?
And the biggest advantage also that I had was I was a day scholar. I used to be there until afternoon, and then I used to come back home. Also, I made a conscious choice. I wouldn't join. There were these racing teams, aero teams, college fest teams.
A successful person is an average person with laser like focus. So you are like very much focused on GATE or staying away from all the distractions. You have done through completely self-study. So what was your resources that you had used for your preparation?
To be honest, I wouldn't call it study because I took a lot of help of seniors preparing for GATE, or had given, let's say, 1 or 2 attempts. So my major material was all of the notes and all of the materials that my seniors had. To be honest, most of the notes seniors shared were mainly useful for some subject.
Okay.
For majority of the subjects, I relied on reference books. I tried to align it based on syllabus in GATE.
For people who feel their college notes and textbooks doesn't work for you, then here are my 2 recommendations of free resources for GATE. First is NPTEL. Second is checking the playlist of reputed coaching institutes playlist for a particular subject. If you are unsure how, then type coaching name /subject name /playlist. Also choose the one which has a lower duration. And if you feel you need coaching, I would recommend GATEwala, as it is one of the most loved among students and their faculties are also one of the best in the country. And good news, recently PW had celebrated its 4th year, which was, and due to that, all of their courses on huge discount for a limited time. Do check it out. Additionally, you can get a discount of 500 rupees off for using code RAHU500. Links in the description. Batch details: Vijay GATE 2026 rank improvement batch at 5,500. Parakram 2.0 GATE 2026 batch Hinglish and English at 6,200. Shreshth 2.0 GATE 2027 batch Hinglish 8,400. Parakram 2026 ESC plus GATE plus PSUs batch B at 11,999. Shreshth 2027 ESC plus GATE batch D 15,999. Parakram GATE 2026 plus PSUs plus celebration batch B B, CS and IT 14,999. Shreshth Gate 2027 plus PSUs plus Space Operation Batch D, CS and IT 11,999. Shreshth Gate 2027 Batch B, Chemical 13,499. Now also experience infinite learning with Batch Infinity from PW offering Gate Kasana PYQ books and more. Don't miss it out. What was the timeline you have followed for your preparation?
I started already in third semester. Actual material starts to kick in. I was done with the syllabus end of 7th sem. 2 months before the exam was mainly revision.
And in the process, like how many mock tests you have given?
This is the most important thing, because I think this is even in my previous answers on previous videos, this is what I highlighted the most. Give as many mocks as possible, because that's going to make you ready. I've given at least somewhere between 20 to 30 mocks.
Got it. How did you complete your syllabus? Like one by one, or like parallelly 1, 2?
Wouldn't be like I give 15 days for one subject and the next. It never happens. My pattern was to do the subjects in a mixed way that were there in that particular semester and that were relevant. Let's say 2 or 3 days one subject, 2 or 3 days the other subject.
You have started your preparation on second year and you had given exam in the final year. So how are you making sure remembering the things?
This is also second most important. So what I did was I made notes, which I like to call them as concept notes. So usually I think the notes that I saw, it's kind of not only a list of formulae that you're going to use in the exams, also some of the theoretical concepts that can give some context about that formula. And also a lot of time I notice some pattern of questions that can be solved using a certain shortcut, a certain approach, something like that. So if there is something like that, I also mention that, so that whenever I revisit the concept notes, I know some of the tips. I revise SOM in 4th year. Once you have it, and since you have written it, I think you can do the whole revision in a very short time. Let's say 1 or 2 hours, you're done with strength of material revision.
In this process of revision, you have started in 3rd semester and you have given exam in 8th semester. Did you also given any topic wise test or chapter wise test?
Yes, I used to give it of these kind of tests. For example, when I'm studying something, I used to give a test related to that, but that was not a lot. I did not give all the kind of topic wise tests, but yeah, I used to sometimes test my section that I studied.
Now let's come to the last 2 months. You told that you have increased your intensity for your preparation in the last 2 months. So how did you strategize?
The main strategy was again revise and then give a test or solve past papers. Let's say last 20 years of papers, solve all of them, and I did it twice. These were the things that I was doing, mainly solving, giving mock tests, and revising. Solving, mock test, revising.
Very simplest approach in the last 2 months. Any specific number of tests a student has to minimum give completely get prepared for GATE exam?
Yeah, I didn't give 20 to 30 mock tests only in the last 2 months. I gave most of them in the last 2 months, but I also gave some mock tests earlier.
After how many tests you felt you were, I am ready for this exam?
The mock tests that I gave, so Made Easy conducts these
real GATE tests.
Yeah, so you go to a center. So I think that was the first time I realized, okay, that I can get maybe a top 500 rank.
Did you remember what was your first mock test score?
Really low. I would say maybe 40.
40. And what was your final score?
Final in the GATE exam.
Yeah.
That was 94 points something.
94 points. 94 marks in GATE exam. That's crazy. So you got 40 in your first mock test and you got 94 in your final GATE exam.
Yeah, I would say that initially I was getting roughly 40, 50, and then slowly you increased to 60, 70, and the max that I touched was probably around 80.
So what was your parents and your reactions there after you got All India rank 1?
So I graded myself once the solution was out. And I was expecting maybe in the top 500, but one was that was a big surprise to me and also to my family. And there was no expectation, so getting it without expecting it was a big shock.
Now let's come to the final thing. So what was your tips on reducing silly
I
mistakes?
would say keep some time to, I don't know, towards the end or some time to revisiting the answers that you've given. Yeah, that's something I also did.
So what was your strategy to attempt the exams? Like, did you start it from easy to hard questions, or like did you solve the hard questions and parallelly solve the easy questions? What is the approach that you followed?
No, I did not follow any of this approach. So I was just going through the questions in the order that they were in. And
Okay, got
whenever I
it.
used to encounter something that was difficult or that I wasn't able to crack at that time, I didn't spend a lot of time on that, but I went ahead. One of the good ideas would be to go back towards the end of the paper when you're done with all the questions, go back and revisit the question again. There is a chance that this time it might click for you.
Now we had understood Asif's strategy, resources and routine, but it's often the case this isn't enough to get top rank in GATE, because every year aspirants start their preparation with high intensities, but after some days they lose motivation and they weren't able to be consistent, leading to 90+% GATE aspirants not able to qualify in it. And as we know, one cannot achieve their dreams without giving absolute best. But recently I studied the All India rank ones of GATE, Civil Service, ESE from Tier 3 college, who were considered average, not studious in college, but they transformed themselves into next version of themselves and got AR1 in respective exams. The question is how? Check out this video where I have shared the evidence-based methods of Tier 3 students and apps to change your game and get the best possible results in GATE 2026. Stay driven. Bye-bye.
From far away, it's down the line. Maybe I should not give up without a fight.